views into the field. And those pieces to camera. Join us and subscribe. We wouldn't want you to miss a thing. The Daily Roundup on the EAC News channel. EAC News, Cambodia made clear.
You're watching EAC News.
Thanks for joining us.
You're watching EAC News. Thank you for joining us. This morning, Prime Minister Hun Manet posted on his social media to celebrate the 32nd anniversary of the Paris Peace Agreement. His post was headed by a picture of his father, former Prime Minister Hun Sen, shaking hands with the late King Norodom Sihanouk as two of the four signatories of the agreement, which was meant to transform Cambodia into a country that respects human rights and allows for multi-party democracy. EAC News reporter Anthony Ellis has the story.
The Prime Minister wrote that the Paris Peace Agreement was an opportunity and an important foundation for the restoration of the development of the nation to grow in all areas. He went on to remind readers that the peace is the foundation of human rights and freedoms. The Paris Peace Agreement was also signed by the Khmer Rouge and the Khmer People's National Liberation Front and officially ended the Vietnam-Cambodia War in 1991 and was the largest ever United Nations peacekeeping operation at the time. It was also the first time the UN took over as the government of the state. The United Nations Transitional Authority in Cambodia was created the next year to rule and maintain peace in Cambodia from 1992 to 1993 before handing over to the Cambodian government for its first free elections in 1993. That year, former Prime Minister Hun Sen contested the election results and showed royalist Funsipik win. He shared that the Prime Minister's position with Funsipik leader Norodom Sihanouk for the 4 years before ultimately taking over the position alone in 1998. During his last years as Prime Minister, Hun Sen criticised UNTAC for failing to bring peace to Cambodia, which he said was only established by his win-win policy that allowed Khmer Rouge defectors to join the government without consequences for their former allegiance. Anthony Ellis, EAC News.
You're watching EAC News. Thank you for joining us. Tourists will soon be able to enter Angkor Wat on the original main entrance path as the reconstructed bridge is officially inaugurated on November 4th under the presidency of King Norodom Sihamoni, following 7 years of reconstruction. Spian Ha is the main stone bridge that enters the temple complex from the west. While most temples in the region face east, Angkor Wat is true to its Hindu roots in honoring Vishnu, who faces west. According to the announcement of the Apsara Authority, the bridge will be open to tourists, while the floating bridge that was put in its place during reconstruction will also remain as an exit from the temple. This is the second time the bridge has been renovated since being made a World Heritage Site in 1991. The first renovation phase was from 1996 to 2007, while the second phase started in 2016 and will wrap up before the year's end. Spian Ha is 190 meters long, 11.6 meters wide, and 4 meters high, built of laterite and paved with sandstone. It is decorated with the unique dragon railings and is the main entrance of Angkor Wat. Kristen Winters, EAC News. You're watching EAC News. Thank you for joining us. The Apsara National Authority's restoration team found a total of 116 coins buried at the base of the pillars at Lauk Pagoda, also known as Wat Aron Ran Sai, located in Siem Reap's Prasat Bakong district. 3 types of coins were found, each measuring 13 to 15 millimeters in size. Some depict a swan with the Chinese character Ji, which means good luck, while others bear the words Prayat Tambong alongside the image of Garuda, the Hindu deity that appears as a birdman. Bles Giliang, co-director of the Prayasare Isanavarman Museum, explained that the swan coin was printed in Cambodia from the 16th to 19th centuries AD. Those bearing the Chinese character Ji were printed and put into circulation in Battambang during the 19th century. The Buddhist monastery of Lauk Pagoda has historical value in both religion and art because of its long history. The Lauk Pagoda was built with wooden components, tiled roofs, and brick walls around the mortar. The building has 4 rows of pillars. Its wooden pillars have been buried in the ground for many years and are in a state of disrepair, posing a risk for the monks who reside there and requiring experts to make necessary repairs. Kristen Winters, EAC News. You're watching EAC News. Thank you for joining us. Cambodia has sent 4 young people with disabilities to participate in the Global IT Challenge for Youth with Disabilities 2023 in the United Arab Emirates from October 23rd through 29th. With the competition steadily growing since the 1990s, this year we'll see about 1,700 individuals competing from 18 countries, both online and in person. Minister of Social Affairs, Veterans, and Youth Rehabilitation, and Chairman of the Disability Action Council, Chia Someti, has championed the disability sector since taking office in late August. The General Secretariat of Cambodia's Disability Action Council asked that the public join in encouraging the disabled youth of the Kingdom of Cambodia to succeed for the sake of the motherland. While 4 young Cambodians are heading to Abu Dhabi, an additional 19 will also be participating in the online competition from October 25th through 27th. The Cambodian delegation will also participate in the Inclusive and Innovation Forum to discuss and approve the Abu Dhabi Agreement on the future development of digital information technology for persons with disabilities. This year's competition includes 6 categories, including designing a smart car, solving life problems with the internet, and content creation. Cambodia's Southeast Asian neighbors are competing, in addition to countries as far away as Ethiopia, Mongolia, and Pakistan. South Korea's Ministry of Health and Ministry of Foreign Affairs are hosting the event in the United Arab Emirates at the end of this month. Kristen Winters, EAC News. You're watching EAC News. Thank you for joining us. At the invitation of the King of Saudi Arabia, Cambodian Prime Minister Hun Manet led a high-level delegation to the inaugural ASEAN Gulf Cooperation Council Summit in Riyadh on Friday. While there, he was able to connect with the Saudi King, a Saudi CEO, and the Vietnamese Prime Minister. EAC News reporter Anthony Ellis has the details.
According to the press release from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs on the conference, Prime Minister Hun Manet emphasised the important role of trade and investment in fostering economic growth and sustainability. He highlighted the crucial need to further support free and open trade, stimulate investment and create a conducive environment for the promoting business in the 2 regions in line with the economic trends of the 21st century and in response to global uncertainties. He urged the GCC and the Asian leaders to explore new sources of growth in key areas such as connectivity, digital economy, green energy transaction, banking and finance, regional supply chains and artificial intelligence. In the face of the food insecurity growth with climate change, he urged the GCC members to explore the possibility for further agricultural investment in addition to exchanging technologies, research and best practices, especially in developing the halal food industry. The Cambodian Prime Minister also expressed concern and regret over the escalating violence in the Middle East, saying that GCC members are in a unique position to broker a peaceful solution to the violence, which has already taken the life of the Cambodian veterinary student. He emphasised the need to provide full access to humanitarian aid and for the people of Gaza, half which are children. He also called for the immediate release of the Hamas hostages. The leaders agreed to continue the conference on a biannual basis, with the next one being held in Malaysia 2025. The Prime Minister also met with Saudi Arabia's King to discuss building stronger ties between the 2 countries in trade, investment and energy. They agreed that the Saudi embassy will be open in Cambodia, complete with visa exemptions for diplomats and officials. Anthony Ellis, EAC News.
You're watching EAC News. Thank you for joining us. The Cambodian Red Cross delivered humanitarian aid for over 2,000 families in Phnom Penh's southwestern district of Dong Khao yesterday, after flooding caused damage to houses and infrastructure. EAC News reporter Anthony Ellis has more.
Deputy Secretary-General of the Cambodian Red Cross, Manari Sapek, and Phnom Penh Governor Kong Sreng held donation ceremonies at 2 brigaders in the area where they also donated relief aid packages to the monks at the Kampong Gandol and Plek Talong pagodas. Each family were given 25 kilos of rice, 1 case of noodles, 10 cans of fish, 1 kit comprising of mosquito net, blanket, sarong and klama. They were also given 6 bottles of fish sauce, 1 case of drinking water and 30,000 reals, which is about $7.27. In total, 2,101 families in Dunkar were affected by the heavy flooding over the weekend. This time last year, an estimated 85,482 households in 14 provinces have been reported to be affected by floods, with houses, infrastructure, roads, schools and health centres and agriculture land inundated. Anthony Ellis, EAC News.
You're watching EAC News. Thank you for joining us. Cambodia lost one of its most beloved icons today when 63-year-old Sambo, commonly known as the Wat Phnom elephant, died of dental disease at the Elephant Valley Project in Mondulkiri. People who have resided in Phnom Penh for decades may remember catching glimpses of Sambo as she traveled the streets of the capital city during the 1970s through the 1990s and was a fixture at Wat Phnom, where tourists fed her fruit and let their children take her for a ride. She was originally caught in the Oral Mountains before the Khmer Rouge era and was the sole survivor of 5 elephants her owner had caught and trained. After the war, she was brought to Phnom Penh and became a fixture of the city as she traveled to and from the pagoda through city streets. She was retired in 2014 to the Elephant Valley Project, where she spent the last 9 years of her life amid the forested foothills of the Annamite Mountains in Mondulkiri, along with her mahout, or keeper, of 20 years named Sopal. According to the EVP, Sambo died today after a long-term dental infection had her in deteriorating health for the last month. The EVP said that they are heartbroken and a little in shock and that they will miss her terribly, especially her dedicated mahout, Sopal, who has been with her for over 20 years. According to the World Wildlife Fund, the average life expectancy of an Asian elephant is about 60 years in the wild, as it needs about 150 kilograms of food per day. Director of the Forestry Administration, Kyle Omalis, told EAC News that he was deeply saddened by the loss of Sambo, a symbol of Wat Phnom for decades. According to Kyle Omalis, there are currently 75 domesticated elephants and about 400 to 600 wild elephants living in Cambodia. Kristen Winters, EAC News. You're watching EAC News. Thank you for joining us. Minister of Agriculture, Forestry, and Fisheries, Dit Tina, said that large fishing nets remain a challenge for river dolphins in the conservation area and asked that people work together to save the critically endangered species. He noted that dolphins are especially vulnerable to getting caught in nets because, unlike fish, they are mammals that breathe air to survive. Speaking at the opening ceremony of the Mekong Dolphin Photo Exhibition on Wednesday evening at the Institut Français in Phnom Penh, Minister Dit Tina said that the conservation of dolphins is not a job for one organization, but requires the efforts of many. He said that dolphins are different from fish and that they feed on milk and use lungs to breathe, making conservation work difficult. He said that this vulnerability is a challenge when dolphins get trapped in large nets, and that they need a special place to live. Cambodia has designated a 180-kilometer stretch of the Mekong River between Kratie and Stung Treng provinces as a protected area for the dolphins. Cambodia's World Wildlife Fund country director, Sang Teak, said that the area where the dolphins live is the cleanest and most suitable place for them to live and provides the best ecosystem for them.
ខ្ញុំយល់ថាជាជំហានដំបូងគឺបញ្ហាការបំផុសប្រជាពលរដ្ឋឲ្យយល់ដឹងអំពីសារៈសំខាន់សារៈប្រយោជន៍របស់សត្វដែលកម្រនៅលោកនេះហ្នឹងជាចំណុចសំខាន់តម្រូវឲ្យប្រជាពលរដ្ឋជាពិសេសអ្នកដែលនេសាទប្រើប្រាស់ឧបករណ៍ដែលខុសច្បាប់ហ្នឹងឲ្យយល់អំពីសារៈសំខាន់របស់វាជាមុនដើម្បីគាត់ចូលរួមក្នុងការគ្រប់គ្រងគេហៅថាបេតិកភណ្ឌមានជីវិតរបស់យើងហ្នឹងណា
He said that people's understanding is important and must be supported by strict law enforcement. Large nets and electroshock devices pose the largest risk to the river dolphins, killing 33 individuals from 2020 to 2023, with most of them being caught in nets. According to data from 2020, scientists estimate that only 89 adult Mekong dolphins are living along Cambodia's Mekong River. Last year, the last Irrawaddy dolphin in Laos was found dead after being caught in fishing gear. Singer Mia Soksopia expressed support for the conservation of dolphins in Cambodia, calling on people to participate in the promotion and conservation of the critically endangered species.
យើងក៏ជាធម្មជាតិដែរនៃធម្មជាតិផ្នែកមួយនៃធម្មជាតិដែរមនុស្សអញ្ចឹងយើងត្រូវតែបំពេញឲ្យគ្នាទៅវិញក៏ប៉ុន្តែយកកុំភ្លេចយើងអភិរក្សនិងបង្កើតពួកគាត់ឲ្យគាត់មានកូនមានអីបន្តដើម្បីជាជីវិតរបស់គាត់តកូនតចៅយើងក៏ចង់មានប្រទេសយើងកូនយើងចៅយើងគ្នាក៏ចង់មានដែររួមធ្វើអំពើល្អចាអ្វីដែលមិនប៉ះពាល់ដល់ជីវិតគេប៉ះពាល់ដល់ជីវិតគេយើងក៏បីកុំធ្វើអីព្រោះអីគ្នាក៏មានគ្រួសារដូចតែយើងដែរទេចា
In 2022, an unprecedented 11 dolphins were found dead in Cambodia's rivers, over 10% of the population. This year, 4 have been found dead, 3 of which were caught in fishing nets. The minister counts the declining number of deaths as a success for conservation. He asked the people to work together to take care of the dolphins' habitat and to use legal fishing methods.
ហើយការយល់ដឹងនេះយើងឃើញហើយមានការយល់ដឹងច្រើនហើយការខិតខំប្រឹងប្រែងរបស់យើងជាមួយនឹងអង្គការដៃគូcủaយើងខិតខំច្រើនជាមួយនឹងស្ថាប័នផ្សេងៗជាដៃគូcủaយើងធ្វើបានច្រើនអញ្ចឹងបានឃើញលទ្ធផលនៅក្នុងឆ្នាំនេះហើយសង្ឃឹមថាឆ្នាំក្រោយបន្តទៀតលទ្ធផលនេះនឹងនៅតែល្អហើយកើនផ្សោតយើងបន្តទៀតជានិរន្តរភាពសម្រាប់កូនចៅយើងជំនាន់ក្រោយបានខ្ញុំមានប៉ុណ្ណេះ
The Mekong River dolphin is one of only 6 species of freshwater dolphins on the planet. The dolphin is on the red list of endangered species by the International Union for Conservation of Nature. Currently, Irrawaddy dolphins are present in South and Southeast Asia in 3 river systems, the Mekong River in Cambodia, the Irrawaddy River in Myanmar, and the Mahakam River in Indonesia. Kristen Winters, EAC News. Watching EAC News, thank you for joining us. The largest Cambodian and Russian state-owned news agencies are teaming up to fight fake news by expanding their information exchange to provide a mutual news source for both countries. Yesterday, Cambodia's Minister of Information, Net Piet Tra, met with Russian Ambassador Anatoly Borovic to strengthen cooperation between Cambodia's Agence Kampuchea Press, or AKP, and Russia's largest government-owned news agency, TASS. The two signed a joint memorandum of understanding between their respective state-owned news outlets to enhance partnership by including broader information exchange as a mutual official news source for the two countries. The two also shared the same understanding of the importance of fighting against fake news and misinformation. TASS itself has received international criticism of disseminating misinformation, leading to its removal from Reuters and YouTube platforms. Getty Images also ended its partnership with TASS last year, following its coverage of Russia's invasion of the Ukraine. TASS CEO Sergei Mikhailov said that he understood Reuters' withdrawal to be, quote, influenced by the current world atmosphere. Ambassador Borovic accepted Net Piet Tra's request to support the technical capacity building for Cambodian information officials, as the Ministry of Information has announced it will be training journalists and PR representatives. The ministry also created a committee to propagate, explain, and protect Cambodia's positive image in September, showing the new administration's priorities. Kristen Winters, EAC News. For watching EAC News, thank you for joining us. The Ministry of Health detailed preventative measures as pink eye infections spread in some of Cambodia's provinces. Yesterday, the ministry issued a statement highlighting the symptoms of conjunctivitis, in which the white part of the eye becomes pink, red, or swollen, especially in the morning. Those infected experience watery eyes, inflammation, itchiness, irritation, and sometimes pus coming from the infected area. EAC News reporter Anthony Ellis has the details.
Pink eye is caused by a virus that can be mixed with common cold or other respiratory illnesses. The infection intensity spreads from one eye and can be spread to another within a few days. It is highly contagious from person to person but can be managed with good hygiene. The ministry instructed people to wash their hands with soap and warm water for at least 30 seconds, or to use alcohol-based sterilizer if the soap is unavailable. Clean hands are especially important before and after applying eye drops or ointment. Patients should avoid touching or rubbing their eyes to prevent further irritation and the spread of disease. With clean hands, people should wash any discharge from around their eyes several times a day using a clean, wet washcloth or fresh cotton ball. Throw away the cotton balls after use and wash used washcloths and hot water and detergent, then wash their hands again with soap and warm water. Households with pink eyes should also wash pillows, blankets, mattresses and towels frequently in hot water and soap. The Ministry of Health says that most cases of conjunctivitis are mild and the infection usually goes away within 7 to 14 days without the need of treatment and without long-term complications. In some cases, viral eye infections take 2 to 3 weeks or more to heal. Doctors may prescribe antibiotics such as eye drops or ointments to reduce the duration of the infection and the risk of spreading to others. For more information, citizens can contact the Ministry of Health hotline number 115 for free, contacting the Ministry directly. Anthony Ellis, EAC News.
You're watching EAC News. Thank you for joining us. While attending the Third Belt and Road Forum in Beijing this week, Cambodian Prime Minister Hun Manet delivered a keynote address at the high-level forum on digital economy entitled Digital Economy as a New Source of Growth, where he encouraged public and private sectors to collaborate towards building the worldwide digital economy. In yesterday's speech, the Prime Minister congratulated China and all Belt and Road Initiative, or BRI, participants in the prosperity gained through the program over the last 10 years. He noted that digital technology has been rapidly developing, resulting in greater economic and social connectivity. According to the World Economic Forum, the global digital economy was valued at $14.5 trillion in 2021 and is expected to reach $20.8 trillion by 2025. Proving a tempting market for countries with young and tech-savvy working populations. The Prime Minister summarized certain needs to harness the full potential of the digital economy, including policy and regulation development, enabling infrastructure, supporting innovation, and promoting digital literacy. To achieve this, he encouraged more cooperation between governments, the private sector, and academia, in addition to digital skills training, awareness-raising campaigns, and consultative forums with the private sector. He also encouraged increased funding for building and developing digital infrastructure, including connectivity, data, and security centers. That same day, the Council for the Development of Cambodia announced the endorsement of an investment project for a data center to be established in Phnom Penh's Tonle Basak district. The Cambodian Prime Minister also stressed the need for sustainable development within the digital sector. He noted Cambodia's favorable conditions to foster digital economic growth, including its young population and, quote, burgeoning tech-savvy workforce. He finished his speech with a call to action for BRI member states. You're watching EAC News. Thank you for joining us. President Thongloun Sisoulith of Laos is ready to build Cambodia-Laos relations with the new administration led by Prime Minister Hun Manet. EAC News reporter Anthony Ellis has the details.
The two Asian leaders met today while attending China's Third Belt and Road Forum and discussed building relations through tourism and disaster relief efforts. President Thongloun Sisoulith was pleased to meet with Cambodian Prime Minister and congratulated him on the new position. The Prime Minister was grateful for the opportunity to meet the Laotian counterpart and praised the progress of the cooperation in all the fields between the two countries. He expressed his support for the continued implementation of the joint trilateral exercise on disaster relief Cambodia, Laos, Vietnam, as organised in September 2022, and mentioned a number of matters related to promoting tourism through the three countries, one designation, intensive and connecting the capital cities with direct flights. The leaders praised the achievements of the comprehensive and long-term strategic partnership established in 2019 and agreed to continue to strengthen and expand cooperation in a number of areas, including national defence, education, energy, and trilateral tourism cooperation. The President of Laos invited Prime Minister Hun Manet to pay an official visit in Laos in the near future, which was generously accepted. Anthony Ellis, EAC News.
You're watching EAC News. Thank you for joining us. The Chinese and Cambodian prime ministers agreed to designate 2024 as the year of people-to-people exchanges in order to promote tourism and inter-country connectivity. The pledge was made during a meeting between Chinese Prime Minister Li Qiang and Cambodian Prime Minister Hun Manet on the sidelines of the Third Belt and Road Forum in Beijing yesterday. Li Qiang welcomed the presence of Prime Minister Hun Manet and his delegation for the second time this year in China, the year of the 65th anniversary of official Cambodia-China diplomatic ties. The Chinese Prime Minister highlighted the achievements of good cooperation between the two countries on various projects, especially the official opening of the new international airport in Siem Reap on October 16th, as well as the signing of multiple memorandums of understanding related to a number of projects within the framework of the Belt and Road Initiative. In response, Hun Manet thanked the Chinese Communist Party and its government for the warm welcome and was pleased to meet with Li Qiang for the fourth time in the past few months. He also thanked the Chinese government for arranging the recent health visit for Cambodia's King and Queen Mother. He also congratulated China of the success of hosting the 19th Asian Games and expressed his condolences over the loss of 4 Chinese citizens, with 2 missing in Israel. Regarding the progress of bilateral cooperation between Cambodia and China, the Prime Minister expressed his satisfaction with the achievement of the signing of 8 memorandums of understanding, which will help further strengthen cooperation between the two countries. The two leaders also discussed the direction of cooperation in other areas, including investment, agriculture, trade, education, sports, defense, health, and the construction of physical infrastructure within the framework of the Belt and Road Initiative. Kristen Winters, EAC News. You're watching EAC News. Thank you for joining us. Cambodian vendors will now be able to use China's largest online shopping retailer to sell their products. Yesterday, Alibaba signed a memorandum of understanding with the Cambodian Ministry of Commerce to bring Cambodian products to its website for sale in China and ASEAN markets. Alibaba Public Affairs Director Wen Jia thanked Cambodia for its continued cooperation with the company, which started under former Prime Minister Hun Sen. She pointed out that the company also provides a digital platform for Chinese citizens to apply for Cambodian visas, which has seen a significant increase in interest and applications. Prime Minister Hun Manet welcomed the Alibaba partnership and is hopeful about the potential it will bring to Cambodian retailers. He is optimistic that Cambodian entrepreneurs will use the opportunity to take advantage of the international market. Alibaba currently serves about 1.3 billion customers worldwide, and the company already sells Cambodian products on its e-commerce platform, such as rice and long yan. Alibaba is designed for business-to-business transactions, selling mostly in bulk. Meanwhile, its subsidiary, AliExpress, focuses on selling products to individuals. Kristen Winters, EAC News. You're watching EAC News. Thank you for joining us. Cambodia hosted the 3rd Global Conference on the Relief of Landmine Victims and Explosive Ordnance Disposal within the context of disability rights at the Sofitel in Phnom Penh this week. Senior Minister and First Deputy Chairman of the Mine Authority, Lee Tuik, gathered with Prince Mired Rad Zaid Al Hussein, ambassadors, mine victims, and delegates from the Ottawa Convention to discuss issues related to landmines across the globe. EAC News reporter Anthony Ellis has more.
During his opening speech, Senior Minister and the First Deputy Chairman of the Mine Authority, Lee Tuik, emphasised that the effort to rescue victims of landmines and explosive remnants is not merely a humanitarian endeavour. It is a matter of human rights and public health, demanding strong commitment, support and collaborative effort between all stakeholders. This is particularly crucial from the member states of the Ottawa Convention, who must ensure the care of landmine victims and improve the lives of the victims, their families and their communities.
The victims of landmines are not mere statistics. They are living, breathing souls. Mothers who cradle their children, fathers who protect their families, children with dreams yet to be fulfilled, hardworking farmers, and ordinary individuals who, through no fault of their own, found themselves in the cruel grip of destiny. These individuals carry the weight of both visible and hidden scars etched their bodies. No survivor shot in that.
Jess Muckett, representative of the International Committee of the Red Cross, said that his committee employs a comprehensive approach to aid victims of landmines, unexploded ordnance, and various manifestations of violence and conflict.
The ICRC takes a multi-level approach to assisting victims of landmines, unexploded ordnance, and other forms of violence and war. We conduct education and awareness activities to ensure that people are aware of the dangers of landmines and unexploded ordnance.
Thomas Global, president of the Anti-Personal Mine Agreement, known as the Ottawa Convention, said the conference will play a crucial role in developing a new action plan at the next year's review conference in Cambodia.
It's a very important conference because you see we are entering in a very important year of the convention, which is the run up to the 24 review conference, which will take place next year in Cambodia, and so we are doing very important preparatory work, if you want. Because we will have to decide next year at the review conference on a new action plan, and this has to be prepared, and I think conferences like this will be very important in this regard. And the issue, the topic of victim assistance is a key pillar of the convention.
Finished the press conference by thanking all delegates for their compassion and commitment towards those who are living with disability.
All the delegates are here in Phnom Penh with very unwavering commitment and compassion, extending to those who are living with disabilities worldwide. Thank you.
The prime objective of this week's conference is to contribute to the Ottawa Convention Action Plan. Furthermore, it serves as a Wild World platform for communities, mine victims, and those affected by explosive remnants to voice their concerns and challenges and exchange experiences, knowledge, technologies, and innovative ideas pertaining the rescue of the support of the victims of landmines and unexploded war remnants. Anthony Ellis, EAC News.
You're watching EAC News. Thank you for joining us. While attending the third Belt and Road Forum in Beijing this week, Cambodian Prime Minister Hun Manet met with Vietnamese President Vo Van Tong to discuss building the partnership between their countries and expediting negotiations to complete the Phnom Penh Ba Viet Ho Chi Minh Expressway. EAC News reporter Anthony Ellis has more.
During today's meeting, the Vietnamese Prime Minister congratulated Prime Minister Hun Manet on his ascent to power and sent greetings to the King, Queen Mother, and the former Prime Minister Hun Sen. He expressed confidence in the new generation of Cambodian politicians to implement all policies of common interest and maintain close ties with Vietnam. Prime Minister Hun Manet then recalled meeting with the President of Vietnam 4 years ago when he was a military general, which was an opportunity for the discussions to strengthen and expand cooperation between the two countries. He noted the development in relations between Cambodia and Vietnam, especially the gradual increase of trade and tourism and expanded cooperation in defence and human resource training. The Prime Minister also requested the Vietnamese President to expedite negotiations on the Phnom Penh Ba Viet Ho Chi Minh Expressway, which will facilitate even more trade and tourism. The two leaders agreed to improve the progress of bilateral cooperation in all fields, especially defence, security, trade, investment, education, tourism and people-to-people exchanges. The Vietnamese president also proposed an increase in senior leader visits between the two countries and invited Cambodia's king, along with former Prime Minister Hun Sen and Prime Minister Hun Manet, to visit Vietnam in the near future. Anthony Ellis, EAC News.
ហើយពិបាករកក្រុមហ៊ុនថតវីដេអូផ្សាយផ្ទាល់ដែលមានគុណភាពមែនទេអស់កង្វល់រ៉ាទីកាជាក្រុមហ៊ុនទទួលស្គាល់លំដាប់អន្តរជាតិលើសេវាកម្មថតផ្សាយផ្ទាល់គ្រប់កម្មវិធីកម្រិត 4K ដំបូងបង្អស់នៅកម្ពុជារ៉ាទីកាប្រើប្រាស់ឧបករណ៍ទំនើបម៉ាកល្បីធានាគុណភាពការផលិតតាមបច្ចេកវិទ្យាទាន់សម័យរ៉ាទីកានឹងជួយធ្វើឲ្យកម្មវិធីលោកអ្នកកាន់តែមានភាពអស្ចារ្យលោកអ្នកនឹងបានឃើញរាល់សកម្មភាពក្នុងពិធីទៅលើកញ្ចក់ទូរទស្សន៍ទំហំធំកម្រិត 4K និងការបញ្ចាំងលើផ្ទាំងក្រណាត់សព្រមទាំង LED ដែលមានរូបភាពច្បាស់ត្រជាក់ភ្នែកសូមអញ្ជើញកក់ពីឥឡូវនេះតាមរយៈលេខទូរស័ព្ទ012 823 848 017 838 889និង016 823 848រ៉ាទីកាទំនុកចិត្តការទទួលខុសត្រូវនិងគុណភាពខ្ពស់រ៉ាទីកា Entertainment ក្រុមតន្ត្រីអាជីពកំសាន្តបែបស្រាលពីរោះមិនថ្លង់ភ្ញៀវរំភើបចិត្តពិធីរឹតតែអស្ចារ្យ Relax រ៉ាទី